Well, happy Tuesday morning, everyone, and welcome back to Morning Musings. My name is Don K. Preston. I am the president of Preterist Research Institute of Ardmore, Oklahoma. We are on argument number 22 of Dr. David Hester's 23 rapid-fire affirmative arguments that he offered in our 2016 formal public debate, which was held July 14th and 15th here at Ardmore, Oklahoma. Dr. Hester got up and read off 23 rapid-fire affirmative arguments. And, of course, the point was, hopefully, from his perspective, that I would not have time to respond to all 23 arguments. Therefore, he could get up and he could say, look, I made all these arguments. Preston didn't touch them top, side, or bottom. Well, no one would have the time to answer in depth all 23 arguments. It's a debater's trick, ladies and gentlemen. Now, speaking of formal public debate, as I make this video, which again is responding to Dr. David Hester's argument number 22, Dr. Hester has agreed formally to engage in another formal public debate. This one is to be held in Montgomery, Alabama in 2017. We do not have the specific dates set just yet. Got to get on my calendar, and I've got to submit some dates to him for consideration. He said he wanted some different propositions. We'll see what he has to offer on that. And so, as it stands now, we have a formal agreement for another formal public debate to be held in 2017 in Montgomery, Alabama. I'll keep you posted on that. Well, we are looking at, and this is video number 2 in response to Dr. Hester's argument number 22, as he said and referred to Acts chapter 1, where Jesus ascended. And the angel said to the men standing there, to the apostles, "You men of Galilee, why do you stand gazing into the heavens? This same Jesus who is taken from you shall come again in like manner as you have seen him go." Well, Dr. Hester said, they saw Jesus ascend in a physical body as a human man. Therefore, he must come again as a man in a human body. Well, this is really a self-defeating argument. Jesus ascended in an unchanged, untransformed body of flesh and blood. Is Jesus supposed to come back as a 5'5" Jewish man in a physical human body? You see, we have a right to ask, what would be the purpose of the second coming of Christ? Now, we know why Christ appeared in the form of man. He came to die for mankind. He came, he was humiliated. He took on the form of a servant. And the form of a servant, even though he was in the form of God, he did not think it robbery to be counted equal with God, but he divested himself of that form, morphe, and took upon himself in his human, physical, fleshly body the form of a servant, being found in fashion as a man, as a servant. So, is Jesus' second coming to reveal him once again as an humble servant in a physical body? Or is the second coming invariably set forth in the New Testament, and by the way, in the Old as well, as a manifestation, as a revelation, Greek word apocalypsis, that is used very often to describe the coming of the Lord? The second coming throughout the New Testament is invariably posited as the revelation of Jesus as King of Kings and Lord of Lords. Not as a man, not as a 5'5" Jewish man in a body of humility, but as King of Kings and Lord of Lords. Just as Paul said in 1 Timothy chapter 6 and verse 15, where he spoke of the coming of the Lord. And he said, who in his time will reveal who is the only God, the King of kings and the Lord of lords. In the picture of the second coming, Revelation chapter 19, John said, I saw this one like the Son of Man, and he rode a white horse, and he had a name on his thigh. He had a sword coming out of his mouth, which is the Word of God. And this name is King of Kings and Lord of Lords. By the way, does that description of Jesus' coming in Revelation 19 fit the description of Jesus at his ascension? We'll have one more lesson, one more video on Acts chapter 1, examining this concept. But for this short video, I want you to ask yourself the question, what would be the purpose of Christ's coming? Christ's coming would not be to reveal himself as a man in a body of flesh, in the body of humility. He had once been in the form of God. He put off that form to take the form of humiliation, the form of man, a little lower than the angels. But at his ascension, at his entrance into the most holy place, and boy, I want to tell you, have I got some good stuff on this to share in our next debate, probably. But be that as it may, all right? Christ's second coming would not be to reveal him as a man in a body of humiliation, in a body of human flesh. The second coming of Christ, in which all prerogative of judgment had been committed to him by the Father, John 5:21 and following, and he would judge as he had seen the Father judge, so that all men would honor him as they honor the Father. Again, John 5:21 to 23. And it would be to reveal him as King of Kings and Lord of Lords. Folks, when people talk about Jesus coming back as a man in a body of flesh, they're missing the point of the revelation of Jesus Christ as the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. Look, please get yourself a copy of my book, Like Father, Like Son, on Clouds of Glory. Go to my website, www.donkpreston.com or eschatology.org. Order this book, Like Father, Like Son, on Clouds of Glory. Include a note that says you saw the offer on YouTube or Facebook, and I'll refund your shipping. Well, you don't want to miss what we have for you on the flip side. We'll see you there.